So we could forfeit sympathize. Irish warfare is nothing to be played with. I need it to more ends. I be the.
So watch this video and subscribe and put a thumbs up.
What's going on, party people? This is your brother Alpanas, and this is an early breakfast chat that I'm giving my quick review of the latest episode of The Mandalorian, which is titled The Jedi. Where do I begin? Where do I even begin to try to dissect this haphazard, poorly written episode that continues to pretty much shit all over the continuity that was established behind the 6 movies and George Lucas's legacy in the EU. I'm trying to be measured with this because the internet is blowing up behind so much praise for this episode. You know, and even some of our, fellow YouTubers, in our community is heaping praise on this episode as well. But there's an underlying problem to this thing that, and I'm trying to use my words carefully, but at the same time, I'm on a fuck it attitude right now. In my head, you can't, if you willfully ignore certain things in terms of the blatant errors in the continuity, and of course this episode was directed and written by Dave Filoni. So that alone should tell you that keeping with the continuity is only as important as what kind of views you have for certain things in Star Wars going forward. And I'm talking about Dave Filoni's creation, Ahsoka Tano. It is no secret, and he even admitted himself in an interview that he loves his creation. His creation was based off of following the pattern that George Lucas had for the Clone Wars. But that was before the Disney sale. Before the Disney sale, there is a purpose for the character that Dave Filoni created, and that was to service the story of Anakin Skywalker. That's how it was supposed to be. Unfortunately, when the Disney sale came, he didn't have to answer to George Lucas, because quite frankly, if George Lucas was still in charge, Ahsoka storyline would have had a beginning, a middle, and an end to service the story of Anakin Skywalker. I myself personally love Ahsoka Tano, especially in the Clone Wars. So this is for anybody that want to say that I'm just shitting on this thing just because. No, I really like that character, from the inception, from her being with Anakin throughout the seasons, and then her own little stories that Dave, and some of the other writers gave for her. Top notch. But where I'm seeing this thing for pretty much what it is that and I'm getting my little breakfast on right now because this is breakfast chat. What up with us? What was I saying? But where it just gets muddied is that the shelf life of Ahsoka Tano got extended after the Disney sale, because You didn't have to answer to the maker, so therefore, why not keep her alive? So you throw her in Rebels. You throw her in Rebels and make her escape Order 66. But at the same time, you know, I know Dave Filoni had a plan for his little creation, and why not? That's his creation. So he's gonna make it work however long he could do it. You get the Rebels. Now people already know. I ain't never liked Rebels. Rebels was a piece of trash. Disney trash at that. But like I said, the normies and the 18 to 25-year-old pronoun kids, they love that shit. I ain't never loved it because of that D-list, homeless, bum-looking bastard, Freddie Prinze Jr. He played Kanan. He voiced Kanan. Now it made perfect sense why I never liked that shit. But that's Dave Filoni's baby right there. So remember that when they bought the company, they said that the EU, the real canon of the EU under George Lucas, was null and void. They said we're going in our own direction for the real protection. Yeah, but yet and still, they say one thing out their mouth, and another thing in the other. One side of their mouth, go in, go out, right? Because it wasn't talented enough to come up with real original stories or real original. Nah, you gotta dip in there. So, emo bitch boy Kylo, they took that from Jason Solo. Grand Admiral Thrawn, that was an EU staple. And Grand Admiral Thrawn was that dude. He was a military genius, a battle-hardened tactician, and a man that was not to be fucked with. He almost won. He almost beat our heroes. But yet, you take Thrawn because he was such a powerful and memorable character in the EU novels that pretty much, followed for years. But yet, you take Grand Admiral Thrawn out of the EU and put him in Rebels. And unfortunately, he wasn't the badass, tactician that we came to know him in the EU novels. But I digress. Alright, fast forward, here we are with the Mandalorian, okay? Now, for the record, I'm going to make this perfectly clear. Rosario Dawson absolutely kills it in terms of her look, her mannerism, and the way she moves as Ahsoka. I loved it. I absolutely love it. I just love looking at Rosario Dawson. I do. She does it for me, But the problem is, the character itself is a problem. The character itself is a problem, a big problem, in terms of the dialogue especially, where everything that came out her mouth was pretty much pretty much a continuity error in one way or another. For instance, Baby Yoda was there, in the Jedi Temple before, it seems like before and during the Clone Wars. It was a baby because they said, this child who's now finally got a name, Grogu, not for, besmirching his name or anything, but Grogu, okay. Well, at least you can stop calling him Baby Yoda now. But people gonna still call him Baby Yoda because they used to that shit. But Grogu, as his name suggests, he was there at the Jedi Temple, but somebody took him. How the fuck? Who took him? The Jedi Temple has lots of Jedis there, badasses at that. Then there's Master Yoda and the High Council. Who the fuck came in there and took him? That don't even sound right just coming out there. Now she says she can't train him. Well, you're not a fucking Jedi to begin with, Ahsoka. And this is the thing that I gotta keep reminding people. She left the Jedi Order. She left. So she's not technically a Jedi. If anything, she's still technically a Padawan learner. But yet they got her as Jedi. But like I said, this is Dave Filoni's thing. You know, he's gonna try to force this issue down your throat. You know, with her, because as it stands, the Disney canon is going full force with Rebel 2.0. I can see it coming, because you know, bitch ass Ezra Bridger, whatever his name is, you know, the Rebels crew is gonna slowly make their way towards Mandalorian. I see it coming, because that's his thing. You know, some people talking about, you know, this is gonna be the new Filoni verse, you know, going forward. You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised. You know, I'm up early in the morning, trying to go through this shit. I wouldn't be fucking surprised. But this is where we at with this family, you know. You know, we got some of our beloved YouTubers, you know, who may make videos to normalize this shit. Why? Because they, you know, they want to like something in Star Wars where it doesn't, you know, but it does. It does. You either don't want to see it, or you're just doing it for clicks. Either way, I'm not here to argue the schematic. You got to do what you got to do with your channels, you know. It's neither here nor there. But for myself, I live to keep the truth about George Lucas's universe alive. That's my thing. That's my thing, because I'm not fake. I'm not a phony. I don't flip flop one here, one there. I keep it 100. If I like something, I will tell that to you. You know. But then again, in some ways, that can go for anybody. If you like it, you like it. You know, and I can't begrudge you on that. If you're doing it for clicks, okay, you're doing it for clicks. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know, for your YouTube channel, but for the rest of us, the audience, the members, you know, people that we do YouTube videos for, whatever. All right, you can take the good with the bad. If you like the episode, good for you. If you don't like the episode, then you're of a like-minded, you know, thoughts of your brother Abu Nas. Because I'm not letting you just skate over the continuity just fucking because. You know? There's a reason why these things were in place for so long. And then you just gone, you know, just shit all over it just because you want to have your girl be, you know, the superhero icon that obviously Mary Sue Ray failed miserably in. You know, shit, you even took liberty to shit all over your sequel trilogy behind this. You know, the same sequel trilogy that everybody loved. Everybody did. The Last Jedi did that, and Rise of Skywalker was great and everything. But yet, even in some dialogue, you know, Jedi is supposed to take years of training. Gotta get this going, gotta get that going. You got Mary Sue Ray downloaded her shit, and nobody blinked an eye. But yet, like I said, you hang on to Ahsoka's every word in this episode. So which is it? But my thoughts is coming from a place of real disappointment about this episode, because now I can see where Dave Filoni's plan is going to be going forward. It is what it is. So this is just my real quick thoughts. You know, this episode in terms of the writing and world building was fucking horrible. Horrible. You know, I mean, obviously Ahsoka Tano took her time going after the magistrate when, like I said, her skill level set is way beyond the magistrate, even in the fight. But I will say that in terms of the cinematography, Yeah, it's pretty good, you know. And who didn't like seeing my man Corporal Hicks from Aliens? Who didn't like seeing it? It brought the feels out there, you know. Drake, we're leaving. You know, who didn't like that? I did, but that still does not denote and say that this episode was a no bueno for me. But I'll be elaborating more on it in the Dark Council this coming Tuesday. But other than that, like I said, you gotta feel this out for yourself. And you know, this is not scripted. This is not. Ooh, see my bacon? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is not scripted. This is not, you know, this is just me spitballing off the top of the head. And trust me, something, a part of me still wanted to like this episode because of Rosario Dawson, you know, because she is awesome, looking like Ahsoka Tano. So I'll give that an A+ every day, all day. But the story and the writing by Dave Filoni, I see what you're doing, Dave. I really see what you're doing, you know. But you're not fooling me, and you're not gonna fool some of our people in our community. You know, we can take the good and the bad, but my dude, you trying to be slick with this shit, and it's not gonna work, because we're gonna keep reminding you that George Lucas, you know, his presence is always gonna be there. We're gonna make sure of that. You know, some YouTubers might not want to see it that way, but it's whatever. So thank you for joining in to Breakfast Chat with Abu Nas. As we finishing up, and more of the switch. All right, well, more bacon. And like I said, this is this is a freestyle type video, so you know this is about as real as it gets. But like I said, you know, do your own research. Know the lore that George Lucas put together, you know, in terms of continuity and everything else that makes sense. Anything else that comes after that, and I'm talking about the Disneyverse, doesn't even equate. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. And I guess I'll see you in the Dark Council next Tuesday when me and my brothers is gonna debate this shit verbatim. But it all comes from a place of love for Star Wars on every level, you know. And that's, like I said, that's something for us really to be proud of. That we love this shit so much, we gonna try to get this shit right. So be good to yourself.